ground changes. Things happen. So they've done no testing to really determine what is going on with that. I discovered that the USD 259 chose to build Gordon Parks there, knowing that that ground was contaminated. They put vapor barriers into the building. When they first tested, I would believe, I want to say, I've got so many numbers in my head. I've done so much research. But in 2009, when they did a vapor quality testing of the air there at the school, nothing was found. However, when they did it again in 2013, also at the Boys and Girls Club, that had changed. But because they said it's not, it meets it falls below their standard of safety. But safety to me is not that, it shouldn't be there. But it's so disrespectful that they did not tell us, knowing that there are hundreds of wells out there that are undocumented. Because at that time, back in the day, you could dig a well and not have to report it.
Right.
Well, we found one family that has been drinking this water since 1955, and they've lost several members of their family to cancer, various kinds. Upon our investigation and request, KDHE, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, did a health study, and they have determined that the rates of certain cancers are twice as high in our community as it is in the entire state.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So who do you hold responsible for people in that area not knowing what they have been encountering for decades, really, since what, around 1920 or later? Who's responsible for that?
I hold the city officials of this city responsible. It is the mayor's job to make sure that this city is cared for, the entire city. It is the governor's job to make sure that the state is doing what they're supposed to do. But nobody is doing anything. I mean, I've talked to all of our officials, both state, county, and city, all three of them, and nobody knew anything about this, so they say.
Yes. And when you attended a meeting on June the 24th, but before that meeting, you had a meeting with the secretary of KDHE and several city officials, and one rep was present, Representative Ford Carr at the time. And they kind of had outlined to you what their meeting, at the time they didn't have a date, but they kind of outlined to you what it was that their agenda was going to be. And what did you tell them?
I told them that was not going to work. Their agenda was to have what they called a breakout session, where we were to show up as a community, and they were just going to give us whatever little words they wanted to give us. And then we would break out, like, this is 5 at this table, 10 at this table. I told them that is not going to work.
Right.
This is a community issue, and we all have a right to ask the questions that we want to ask and get an honest answer from the person that knows the answer. And we would not do it any other way. I told them, this is not the fair. We're not finna do all this stuff. Okay, we're not finna write on the wall. We're not finna drop some cards in a box that you just gonna toss the box, because that's what I think you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that. Yet they were disrespectful enough to come into that meeting and do exactly what I told them we would not do. They wanted to push their agenda again.
Because I went to the first meeting that they had at the Boys and Girls Club, and you were present, and KDHE, they came unprepared, right?
Not only did they come unprepared, they came in another disrespectful manner. They brought Dr. Menz with them, and he gets up with his presentation, and he tells us about the cancer rates being twice as high in the 67214, 67219 zip codes, because that's what this bill has covered.
Mm-hmm.
But he informs us that generally when they find a case like that over here, it's because of alcoholism or intravenous drug use and the sharing of needles. He even said the same thing about hepatitis. That's totally, totally disrespectful.
So it's just like he was saying that Black people were responsible for their own illness,
Yes,
you know?
yes,
Yeah. And
yes.
so uh, what should KDHE on top of the city and the county, what should they do? What responsibilities do they have when it comes to screenings and cleaning up that area over there that has impacted people for decades? Well, what is their responsibility, Aujanae?
KDHE's responsibility is to govern Union Pacific's cleanup of that toxicity all through our community. However, they signed a consent order to do that with Union Pacific back in the 90s or the early 2000s. But that consent order had no time framework. It had no governing of how those things were supposed to be done or when they were supposed to be done. So what did they do? They do what all white people do. They created a consent order just so that they could say they were compliant. And you
Right,
are compliant if you don't have any stipulations of how that thing is supposed to go.
right,
But now that we've discovered what's going on, and more of us are getting engaged in the fight to change the way we're treated in this community and to handle this particular situation, because there's others. We're fighting a truck stop being put right here on 21st and 135, right across from the industrial warehouse. What the hell are you gonna have in there?
right.
You know,
Yeah. How is that going to impact the neighborhood?
that truck stop is going to bring significant damage to our community. And again, I hold the city responsible for that. And I told our councilman for District 1, which is Brandon Johnson, that I'm very disappointed with him. He actually voted to put that truck stop there. Okay? He also allowed the district boundaries to be changed. Our community, it's time for us to educate ourselves about how civic government works.
Absolutely.
Them changing those, see where they're going to put that 20-acre truck stop that would hold, it's designed to hold 100 semis
Hmm.
that can run 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, as if we don't have enough toxicity to fight. Okay, now we're going to have the fumes from all these vehicles. In addition to that, you got to think about families that are coming in and out of there. It's not going to just be the trucks. And they're putting an RV park there as well, so that people can pull up with their RVs, dump their sewage, and all of that right here in our community. Now, this is right less than a quarter of a mile from my back door. Less than
So
a quarter of a mile.
how's that going to impact property values when it
It,
comes to
it's going to
homes there?
greatly impact our property values. It's going to deplete our property values. Who does that? Who puts a 20-acre truck stop in the heart of a community? Who does that? The city of Wichita.
Yeah.
The city of Wichita. And then when we show up as constituents and citizens at the city council meeting, they deny us a voice yet again. Wouldn't let anybody say a word. No one. Tell us we were at the wrong meeting. We should have been at the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission meeting. Well, that meeting was not publicized. Had you heard anything about that meeting, Mary? And you have your hand on the pulse of this city. Had you?
No,
No. I
no.
spoke with one of the reporters from the Community Voice, and neither had she. That was a hidden agenda. I spoke with the attorney for Conejo Holdings, who is going to be in charge of that truck stop, owning that truck stop. He was at the meeting and he wondered why no one else was. Well, because of their hidden agendas. That's
Right.
why.
Yes. And it's really unfortunate because a lot of people who would like to attend meetings to know what's going on in their communities, they can't attend because they don't know, or it's too early for them to attend because they have to work or
Yeah,
something, you know,
yeah,
so it's done by design, you know, where
it
people
is.
can't get involved at
It is.
all.
And also, I'm not gonna put it all off on them. We got a responsibility, Mary, to educate ourselves and know how this shit works.
That's right.
People don't understand. No, they don't have us in slavery and chains anymore, but they do it with an ink pen
Hello,
on Capitol Hill. So
hello.
it is time for us to educate ourselves about how that works. You can't fight your enemy if you don't know his strategy.
That's right. That's right. My issue, Aujanae, I know people say that, you know, you need to be at the table so you don't become part of the menu. But the problem with that is that too many of us have been at the table and come away with nothing. So, you know, what good is it to be at the table with the oppressor? I'm just going to call it like it is, with the oppressor, when you're not taking anything of benefit that will help the community that you live in and that you're supposed to serve.
Well, the problem is we need the community at the table with us.
Hello.
That's the problem. Us too few, three here, there, and yonder, not gonna get it done. And we get stressed out trying to get it done
Come on.
because where you at, people?
Hello.
Where are you? Urban League, where are you?
Come on.
NAACP, where are you?
Where you at?
My sorority sisters, where are you?
Come on now. Where you at?
Frat brothers, where are you?
Where you at?
Where are you? And what the hell are you doing? Because you ain't helping the cause.
That's right.
I
That's
hear
right.
a lot of talk about this meeting and that meeting and this. I don't need that. I need boots on the ground. I need committed people, that I need like-minded people that are tired of being disrespected, walked over, and ignored.
Right. Right.
But it's going to take the unification of us.
Absolutely.
We gotta kill. Yeah, they owe us 40 acres and a mule and a whole lot more stuff. Yeah, they do. But we gotta do it for ourselves. We have to come together and do it for ourselves.
Yes, because we're resilient people. We have lasted through hundreds of years of abuse, of murder and rape and genocide, the whole gamut of stuff. We still walking and we still
Still
standing.
walking, still standing.
So why is it that we sit now we act like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We know what to do, but we gotta figure out how we can come together to do it.
That's the thing. We suffer from what I like to call post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Mhm.
We have been conditioned not to fight back.
Just to love everybody, right?
And I love them, but I'm done with the dumb. We
Turn the
not
other
gonna do
cheek.
that. We
Yeah,
not
turn the
gonna
other
do that.
cheek.
You know, I ain't got another one to turn.
Right.
I don't. I have not another one to turn. It is time to turn inward and the
Right.
village come together
Right.
and formulate a plan of attack.
That's right.
That's what it
You know,
is.
you know, getting back to the Northeast area and the residents that have been impacted, what should be done as far as these wells that probably, you know, have are buried all over their community? I mean,
Yes.
what needs to be done?
KDHE and Union Pacific need to come together and figure out who's going to pay for it. And they need to contact every last one of these more than 2,900 homes in that area and find those wells.
So
And
in
when
order
they
to,
find them, they need to test them.
yeah, in order to do that with those over 2,900 homes, or do they have to do a survey door to door? What they got to do?
You know what? They need, if they got to go door to door, if they got to do a mass mailer to the resident of that home, they need to figure it out and get it done. Don't
Because
send don't send one little white boy out here with 200 flyers like you did for the June 29th meeting. Don't do that no more. Because that's just pitiful. Okay. I'm tired of your half. Well, I'm just tired of the little don't patronize us.
yeah,
Stop it.
stop
Stop
it.
it.
And so people always run to the folks that they feel really comfortable with, that won't make them uncomfortable. Shouldn't they be working with people who are boots on the ground, that's interacting with the community all the time, who know who the community, who they are and what they're feeling, instead of going to folks that they feel comfortable with? Isn't it
Well,
time for them to be uncomfortable?
I want them to stop being able to find people that they're comfortable with of color when it comes to stuff like this. They shouldn't be comfortable with any of us.
Right.
But some of us, when we get a position, we kind of lose our way. That's how I'm gonna look at the. I done took black cards from folks in my mind. I'm taking your black card because you done forgot who you are and where you came from.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So your black card is null and void. Okay. We've
And
got a lot of that going on. I'm very disappointed that when we do, I'm disappointed in two ways. I'm disappointed that when we do get Blacks in political positions, that they don't do what they need to do to advance our community. I'm disappointed with the community that we will vote a Democratic ticket just to put them in there and then we walk away. Well, it takes both. I'm sorry.
gotta hold them accountable.
We have to hold them accountable. And in
Yeah.
order to do that, we have to be educated. Does everybody know what the governor's job is? Does
No.
everybody know what Brandon Whipple, the mayor's job is? Do you know what your city councils are supposed to do? Do you understand what districts mean? Like I said earlier, where they're going to put that truck stop used to be part of the Northeast District 1 community. But knowing they wanted to put that truck stop there, they changed the district boundaries and put it in District 6, which is, I call it Vatoville. That's our Hispanic community. But it's in our back door, not theirs.
Yeah. It seems like the Black neighborhoods are the dumping. You just dump on Black neighborhood, run highways through the Black neighborhood, do intimate domain to the Black neighborhood, businesses, it's just that we always got an obstacle in our way, and then you got to fight that obstacle to remove it in order to function. It's just crazy.
And you can't get past one before there's another.
That's right.
That's right. I think about the Tower of Babel in the Bible. Everybody might not know that story. But in that story, mankind all spoke the same language, all was Black, because there ain't no white dirt out there, okay? We all dirt babies. We got different shades of dirt, but we ain't got no white dirt.
Come on.
So we were all the same, Mary. We were all strong Black creatures made by God, just like now. Only then they were unified, so unified that they decided they were going to build their way to heaven. They were so unified, Mary, they made God, okay, say, come on, let's go see what they're doing. And when he did, he said, you know what? We're going to change this up, because if I don't do something, they are so unified, they are unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Now that came from the mouth of God. So just imagine if we were unified now and included God.
Hello.
We would be unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Yeah, because we are resilient people. So at the June 24th meeting that KDHE had, uh, uh, Venus Lee, who is the director of Grace Med, made an
Yes.
announcement. So can you kind of, go over that and let people know about the screenings and what Grace Med is willing to do?
Yes, shout out to Venus Lee and Dr. Julie Elder. When they found out what had happened in our community, they went to work and they got philanthropic donations of $340,000 to start screening people from this area to see if they have potential concerns that they need to go and be further screened that have could be a possibility of this TCE contamination because it's not just in the water, it's in the vapors, it's in the soil. It has touched our entire community. And some of us have been dealing with this, like myself. My parents bought a home in that area in 1968. I was 4 years old. That's my entire life. My sister, her entire life. The block I grew up on, my father and two other men all suffered kidney cancer.
Mm,
We all had several other cancers, other members on that one short dead end block. I grew up in the 2500 block of Minneapolis. I can think of people behind me on Kansas, people be in front of me on Minnesota. I know many, many in this community that have been touched by the ugliness of cancer. I have a neighbor now. I live on Lumen between Kansas and Minnesota. And I have a neighbor that lives just west of Minnesota that is yet dealing with brain cancer.
wow.
But when I look out my front door, I can look across the highway because there's nothing between her and the highway. I mean, between her and this truck stop and this industrial park, except the highway.
Hmm.
But that ground is also contaminated. They've been cleaning it up for over 10 years. They actually took the sludge from those sludge ponds. If anybody saw Aaron Brockovich, well, we lived it without knowing. We didn't have that Aaron.
Right.
They took that sludge. That's how the North End got lost. We talked about eminent domain earlier. There used to be a North End community from Broadway going north, several miles. That's the one thing I say, Mary, that I hate about desegregation. We lost ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. We did.
We lost ourselves.
You and I had a conversation with uh Conejo's attorney. Uh what was his name? Aujanae?
His name is Morgan.
Morgan Kuhn. Okay. And
Mhm.
he suggested, or he said that there was a better way of cleaning up all that sludge faster than what and it wouldn't take as long as they're predicting KDHE to clean up.
Mm-mm.
What is
He's he's actually told us about how they cleaned up the area where they want to put this truck stop because that's what he's in charge of over there. They've done that in the last 10 years. They've been able to get negative readings on the perimeter. They still get positive readings in the center where they want to put it, but they've done enough to make a difference in 10 years. It's been 40 years, Mary, and they've done nothing in our community except remove some soil at the actual rail yard. And if you go down on Murdoch, just beyond Murdoch Park, you will see a little house. That's the one well that they put, and it's been there over 16, 17 years. Well, I know technology has advanced much further. And like Morgan Kuhn said, there is a better way. They could extract that water and direct it anywhere they want it to, but it costs more. And at the very first meeting, Levanta Williams asked Union Pacific and KDHE why had they waited so long?
yeah,
And they said it was too expensive. So what does that tell you? Our lives are worthless to them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we gotta understand that if anybody gonna love us, it better be us.
Hello.
And back to the Tower of Babel, unity brings about a change.
That's right. That's right.
Unity.
So, Aujanae, getting back to Grace Med, what do people need to do if they're interested in getting screening uh, for uh, uh, for whatever ailment or illness that they think they may have? And what is Grace Med willing to do for those screenings?
Well, this screening is specifically for those that have been in the Northeast area that may have been impacted by the trichloroethylene or the TCE spill. So they have tests that are targeted for markers for liver cancer and other things that may be concerned. And so whether you, I suggest, I went myself. So whether you are having issues or not, I suggest that you take advantage of it and go. Go over, it's a simple blood test, a simple urine test, and a conversation with Dr. Elder because she is the head physician for Grace Med, and she has taken it into her own hands to handle these tests. So please go over, take advantage of it because only a handful of people have been over so far. And I think it's because people really don't know. That's our thing. People
Yeah.
don't know.
And it's no cost to the
No
person being
cost to you.
tested, right?
No
Okay.
cost to you.
And does that include people who live in that area and moved away? Can they
Yes.
go and get tested as well? Do they have to bring paperwork to prove that they,
No.
okay.
Right now we are on an honor system, and we want everybody to come that have ever lived in that area or lives currently in that area.
Okay.
Come and
So
get tested.
Aujanae, what are the next steps for what you want to see when it comes to helping resolve the issue of what's happened over there in the Northeast corridor?
Well, that has many, many avenues. First of all, we do have a QR code, and I should have had that present with me today. And I may have to step away and see if I have it. But if not, you can contact us at Northeast, just NE neighborhoods with an S connected at gmail.com. And we will email you a QR code that you can scan and take a health assessment for you or for those that you may have already lost. And then an attorney will give you a call. There's a little checkbox, make sure you check it, that gives them permission to call you and see if you can be a part of the class action suit that is going to be filed. We're also filing for property loss and property damage. So please, once you get that QR code, use it. We are also planning, I have tried to speak with Kay Monk Morgan, who is the director for the Kansas Leadership Center, who was in charge of moderating the last meeting on June 24th. She did say that she had informed KDHE that their method was not going to work, offered them two other methods that would allow the community to ask questions and get answers, and they rejected them both. So she went ahead and signed off and let them do what they did. But that meeting, no, we're not going to be disrespected any longer.
Thank you. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
You will come correct, like I told Levi at KDHE, who is in charge of this project. Um, if you can't come correct, don't come.
Don't come.
Don't come.
So what else is in the future when it comes to what you wanted to do and how you want to empower and educate people in the community?
Well, Mary, as you know, you and I and others that were at our first, the quality of Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter, but the quality of life is much, much, I would say even more important than life itself. Because if you have a poor quality of life, um, how can you really advance?
Right,
How can you?
right,
Quality of our lives matters.
absolutely.
It does. And it is time for us to take the reins in our own hands. And so to answer that, we are planning a community civic engagement workshop that will probably be an 8-week course, um, once a week for a couple of hours a week, 2 to 3 hours a week. That is going to teach us how civic engagement works, how city law works. It's going to tell you what the mayor's job is. It's going to tell you what the governor's job is. We're going to address voters registration. We're going to address, do you want to be a Democrat? Do you want to be a Republican? Do you want to be an independent? Or do you want to be bipartisan so that you can vote person, not party? Because it's time out for, oh, well, my mama was a Democrat, so no, my daddy was, but no, you need to know those that labor among you. And that's the people that are out there making the laws. As a community of Black people, when we think voting, we only think about the presidential election.
Mm,
But we
yeah,
should think about the primary that is coming up on August the 3rd, because now you're voting for the people that govern your everyday life.
hello, that's
You're
right,
voting for the people that determine where funding is going to go in this city and what it's going to be used for.
right,
So that's much more crucial than who's going to be president right now.
hello.
You
You know,
know,
I think you and I have talked uh, extensively when it comes to a lot of people just don't know what, the three bodies of government.
yeah,
We learned that back in what, high school, grade school, middle school,
we did.
and they still don't know how important to know what the three bodies of government is, and how important your local politics and city government and county and all that is important. They just don't understand how important it really is.
And that's why we're going to do this workshop. For those that want to know, we're going to make it accessible to you. And I'm calling all troops in, everybody, where you at? And we need to get our youth involved, because this fight is really for their future.
Hello. Yes.
It's for them.
So before I let you go, is one more thing I want to ask you. You want to do a candlelight vigil. Uh, uh, where do you want to have this vigil? I know we're going to discuss that at our next uh, meeting, but why is it important to do the candlelight vigil?
I think it's important because it will give us strength. It will help bring us together. We need to realize when we're out there and we look around and we see all the people that we don't know, that's still your brother. That's still your sister. We all got our daily struggles, but we all got one struggle in common, and that's being Black and an American.
Mm, we're going to end it there, girl.
Yeah.
Black and in America. Okay.
Yeah. And I would like to see us do that at what we know as Grove Park. They changed it to Glen Dye, some white man, but who does that? I want to know that. Now that's some civic engagement I got to find out. Who comes over here and decides they're going to name stuff in our community? No.
They had to be comfortable enough to do that, you know?
Well, I don't care. The white man was probably a great man and he probably did wonderful things, but we got plenty of Black men that did the same thing.
Hello. We got
And,
plenty of legends around here.
even greater, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
because they did it with love. They didn't do it for quote unquote status. They did it because they cared. And
Yeah,
that's what I'm calling for today. Everybody, every age, every color, every creed that cares about Northeast Wichita, we need you. We need your skills. Our last meeting, we're breaking up into teams of skills because that's how we get things done.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Aujanae, how can people reach you if they want to become a part of what you're trying to do with the environmental injustice and Northeast area of Wichita.
Reach out to me via email. You can reach me at heartofaservant137@gmail.com. Or you can reach me at NE neighborhoods with an S connected @gmail.com. And we will get you on our schedule of warriors.
Aujanae, I want to thank you for coming and being a guest on Seasoned Women. Everyone excuse the technical issues. You know, I'm learning by trial and error, and we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Okay, we're gonna get it right. But thank you, Aujanae, for what you're doing and your passion for making it right. Because we're gonna make it make sense now.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Always making
Yeah.
sense. Hey.
Hello. So you have a great day, Miss Aujanae.
You do the same, Elder.
All right.
You do the same.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So my next guest will be Coach Tracy Mason on tomorrow, and I'm hoping that the technical issues that that I had today, I won't have them tomorrow. So thank everyone. Bye.